Well, let's see, look at the next project and see what we got here.
Coincidentally, this is their neighbor's project.
Also overlooking a marsh.
Also overlooking the marsh. And similar situation. They had an existing deck, a small deck, looking to replace it with more usable space. Now this one was interesting in that they started out by asking for a design, and this is the design they requested, with one deck right outside their doors. It's a second-story dining room that we were coming out of.
Okay.
And they wanted a deck there that was more private family space, table and chairs and a grill. Pretty straightforward. But that's what their family would use. But for entertaining, they wanted a bigger space, and they wanted it to be another deck down on the ground, quite a ways down, about I think it was about 8 feet below. And they were real excited about that design. So I did that for them as the first option. And they liked this design. But as I showed them a second option, I suggested that what they might want to consider is to still create the separation of space.
Right.
But bring them much closer. So we did this design, which has the family deck still at the same level, right outside the door. But we brought the entertaining deck up to only 2 steps down. So now there's still that separation, but the spaces communicate with each other. And that's the term we try to use. If you're 8 feet apart, up and down, no one's going to stand there yelling to talk to each other.
Exactly. So you have to consider different aspects of your life and entertaining as well.
How you want to use it. So this is what we ended up doing, and this is the finished project. This one, actually, a little side note, we did an additional space for the husband, and I generally tell couples that the husband's going to get to pick one thing out of the whole project, so pick wisely, because the wife's going to pick the rest. In this case, he got a step-up deck for the grill, and he was very excited about that, and that was his one element of the project.
Just a question, now why the step up?
It separated it from the deck, and it just, quite frankly, when I met with the gentleman, he's a great guy, and I just started out by emphasizing this is the command position of the whole deck. This puts you in charge. And he thought that was hilarious, and he liked it, and it's fun, and it creates, the grill gets a separate area too, and somewhat of a safety issue. It keeps the kids off to some extent, sets it apart as a separate space, and they just liked it. It was a nice touch for the family. So.
Looks very good.
And he loved it.